Good morning, everyone. Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. Hope you're having an awesome day. My partner, Colleen Schaefer, who you've seen most recently on episode 100 of our show, Coffee with Cramer and Colleen, is unable to make it today. She's out about doing the real estate thing. I'm actually going to be catching up with her. But this is the week or day we go over the weekly housing market updates, weekly update Wednesday. So let's go over the stats. Got a new slide in there to kind of talk about a little where I've been seeing the real estate market going. And let's dive into the numbers there, shall we? So, under the listings available for sale this week, we have 5,117 homes in the Las Vegas Valley available for sale. Now, that's down 6 homes from last week's number of 5,123, so it's negligible. Week over week, traditional homes for sale stayed the same at 5,064. Short sales at 30 and foreclosures at 23. Now, in the under contract situation, we're pretty much the same thing with very little change week over week. With 4,587 homes this week going under contract. And traditional sales, we have 4,450 under contract with 107 short sales and 30 foreclosures. Median home price still holding steady at 335,000. So week over week change from the last full week of September to this last week here, which will be a little mix of September, October. Again, excuse me, very little week over week change. If we go over the 7-day window, let's take a look at those. Now, over the last 7 days, as you can see, we had 708 new listings. We had 198 back on market. We did have a week over week increase in the price decreases of 528 listings. And under contracts, both the show and no show, we had a combined 960. And then solds, we had 752. So the one thing I've been kind of keeping a close eye on is that those under contract shows and no shows over a 7-day window as compared to new listings. And we've been really steady for over a couple of months now of 200 homes more going into contract versus going onto the market. Now the back on markets kind of make up for that gap, kind of showing the steadiness. But as you can see, demand is still staying strong between new listings and those listings going into contract. Now, if we look at the homes by price segment, you can see again still good strength here in the homes up to 250,000. We're looking at 397 active listings versus 519 under contract. In the 250,000 to 500,000 home price point segment, we have 2,988 active homes for sale versus 3,225 under contract. In the 500,000 to 750 price segment, we have 790 homes active for sale versus 550 under contract. In the $750 to $1 million price point, we have 311 active listings versus 141 under contract. And then in those homes priced above $1 million, we have 459 active listings and 155 under contract. So overall, even by price point, demand still strong. We actually, with the more homes under contract from the bottom entry level market, from basically zero all the way up to 500,000, we actually continue to have a lot of strength there with regards to more homes under contract than we do have available for sale. So that's still very, very hot segment. Then as we move up tiers, as you can see, they're still pretty strong overall with, the homes active 500,000 to 750. We're looking at not quite a 2-month supply. In the 750 to $1 million, we're looking at roughly about a 2-month supply. And then in the $1 million price point segment, we're looking at an overall 3-month supply. Now that's a little skewed a little bit, but you can still see robust numbers and ratios of homes for sale versus under contract. Now, the last slide I want to throw up here, this is a new one, and this is showing the stability of our housing segment in terms of listings and under contracts. And I've used this term a couple of times here in recent meetings, our broker forum, that we have achieved our cruising altitude. So if we look at these numbers here on the cruising altitude, you'll see the green bar there is active listings, and the red bar are under contracts. And if you look at these, in the active listings for the last 2 months, so that's that first week of August there through this 9/28 period, we went from 4,909 active listings to 5,117. And as you can see, from about the 17th of August, we've kind of stayed in the low 5,000 range. And then under contracts, we were seeing some demand build up as we entered that first week with about 4,100 homes under contract. About the fourth week of August there, the 24th, we crossed the 4,500 threshold with homes under contract, and we bubbled between 4,500 to 4,650 under contract here for just over a month. So as I mentioned, our inventory of homes have really stabilized, and our demand has kind of kept pace and it's kind of leveled out and maintained with that inventory available for sale. Now, how do we see this going forward? I believe this sort of cruising speed altitude that we're going to be seeing is going to manifest itself out for maybe the next 30, maybe even 60 days. Now, there may be some factors going to and fro against that. One of them, big concern, has been the election. We just went through debate number 1 last night, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any change over the next 7 or 14 days from the debates in the election on these numbers. Secondly, we're really concerned about unemployment. Unemployment's still a big factor here in town. Also, too, October 15th will be the next period where, the moratorium on evictions and such are to be lifted. Now, we'll see if they'll be lifted or if they will be extended furthermore. Now, counter to that, interest rates still holding strong. So that's a big piece. We're still seeing very strong search demand from people from out of state, mostly coastal cities, because of our affordability, because of, while you name it, we look attractive, all things considering. Next, Governor recently, last night, gave a press conference, and they've started lifting some of the restrictions with regards to group sizes and capacities, albeit not exactly where we all would love to be, but they are increasing. Also, too, part of that increase is, as a real estate agent and realtor here in the Valley, we are able to begin with open houses under certain guidelines and restrictions, but in-person open house is going to be an available option again. So if we've got people that, one, are still got a good job position, number two, interest rates low, and number three, we've continued to get availability to take a look at a house through an open house, well, that may continue to keep those demands and strengthen our housing market going and floating along, staying buoyant versus some of the things going at the national level with regards to the elections and the debates. Now, that being said, I'd love to hear from you, and if you've got a source or an article and love to share it down in the comments below, please feel free to do so, because we want to engage and see where the information's coming from, because you know what? We all do better when we can look at some information and we know what we're dealing with and make those decisions. However, with what the data I'm seeing right now, and with the factors that make up that current data, I believe that at least for 30 days, probably then into November, maybe not the end of November because we've got Thanksgiving, the holidays kicking in, but maybe through the middle of November at the very least, maybe, sort of there. So let's call it between 30 and 60 days. I think we're going to be, from a housing market perspective, in our cruising altitude pattern. Now, when we get into the holidays, that may take on a little bit of a traditional holiday mode, may not, but we're going to see. Now, again, if this is the first time checking in with our weekly housing stats update, do us a big favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button, or ring the bell to let us know you're here, and subscribe for our updates to both our housing market, but also to Las Vegas lifestyle, real estate, and community information here with Coffee with Cramer and my partner, Colleen Schaefer. So again, on behalf of Colleen, I'm Don Cramer. We make up the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. Cheers out to you today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back next week with the first weekly housing update for the month of October. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.